Beaune fighting way above his weight class as Boris stand his ground over fishing licenses row. Britain tried to isolate France in a dispute over post-Brexit fishing licenses, but the bloc stood united, Junior European Affairs Minister Clement Beaune said on Friday, adding that France will ask the European Union to start litigation if the fishing issue is not resolved by a Friday deadline. Accusing London of acting in bad faith and failing to honour the post-Brexit trade deal, Mr Beaune told France Go Radio, Boris Johnson told himself he could isolate the French. We have remobilised the Europeans, so that the deal is respected. France is planning to ask the EU to begin litigation proceedings if an ongoing row over post-Brexit fishing licenses is not resolved. The European Commission has said the dispute must be settled by December 10, but Downing Street said on Thursday it did not recognise the deadline, threatening to further inflame tensions between the nations. The row surrounds licenses to fish in UK and Channel Islands waters under the terms of Britain's post-Brexit trade deal with the EU, the Trade and Cooperation Agreement, TCA. The main source of contention is the number of licenses to fish in waters around the British coastline for smaller French vessels that can prove they operated there before Brexit. France says Britain has not handed out enough licenses to its fishermen while the UK government has insisted the overwhelming majority of applications have been granted. France's Seas Minister Annick Girardin said on Thursday that if the deadlock remained by Friday evening, France would request a meeting of the Partnership Council, which oversees the implementation of the Brexit agreement, to note the UK's failure to respect its signature. If that is not satisfactory, we ask that litigation proceedings be opened by the European Commission, Ms. Girardin told a senatorial committee. She said the proceedings could take many months but that France will never give up its rights. No one should stay on the dock, she said. Ms. Girardin said the UK had issued 1,004 licenses but that 94 licenses were still pending. The UK government has previously said it has licensed nearly 1,700 EU vessels to fish in our waters. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron has accused the British government of failing to keep its word on fishing licenses, but said France wanted to cooperate with London. Speaking at a press conference on Thursday to set out France's plans for its upcoming presidency of the EU, he said relations were difficult between the two countries because the current, British, government does not do what it says. Mr Macron said, the British government signed a withdrawal agreement which requires commitments to our fishermen. Tomorrow we, alongside the European Commission, will find out if these agreements are not respected. There has been progress in recent weeks. I wish to salute that, there is a sincere re-engagement and I hope with all my heart that new paths open up. France's Minister for Europe Clement Beaune said on December 1 that the dispute was not a Franco-British issue, but a problem between the whole of the EU and the UK. He called on the EU to take retaliatory measures against Britain if the December 10 deadline was missed. Number 10 said on Thursday the UK had never set a deadline itself and the EU cut-off point was not one we're working to. Mr Beaune said Britain's refusal to accept the EU Commission's deadline is not a sign of trust. France is still waiting for Britain to approve nearly 100 licenses for its fishermen to operate in UK territorial waters, Beaune told France Info Radio. If Britain today gives a few dozen extra licenses as a token of goodwill, we will take that into account, he said, adding that if the deadlock persists, France will ask the Commission at the weekend to announce the start of legal action. Britain and the EU agreed to set up a licensing system to grant fishing vessels access to each other's waters when Britain left the bloc. But France says it has not been given the full number it is due, while Britain says only those lacking the correct documentation have not been granted. French Seas Minister Annick Girardin said on Thursday that France would urge the EU Commission to take the matter for arbitration by a committee of British and EU representatives that oversees the implementation of the Brexit trade agreement. If that failed, France would push for the Commission to launch litigation proceedings, a move the minister said would take time.